And I'm back with another video. I know it's been 7 months since I've uploaded any video, but I'm back with the Python basics tutorial. So this is the first video of this series, and we are gonna start off with the basics. And the first video is dedicated all on strings. I'm gonna make it short and fast so that you could grasp it quick ASAP, like ASAP. Go to the video, 4-minute video. You wanna know about strings? You get it. So before knowing strings, how that works, what are the purpose of it? Let me show what print function does. So I do print. So what print function does, as the name says, it actually prints out everything inside these parentheses into this output box or console. If you're doing this on your local computer, local machine, it's gonna be your console or CMD bar, CMD console, or if you're doing a Jupyter notebook, it's gonna be the output box. If I try to print a number, I could do that easily. But what if I want to print up a sentence or a word? Let's see if I type this my name, Siddharth, and let's try to print that. It's going to show me an error. It's going to throw out an error, name error. Name Siddharth is not defined. Of course, I didn't do anything. I know it's a name. I know it's a word. It's a English plus Hindi word, but Python doesn't know anything about this, so you need to define it. How do you define that it's an English word or any other word? Is by putting a quote onto it. Quote outside of it, sorry, my bad. Now if I try to print that, see, I get Siddharth print out. If I want to say, Siddharth is 16 years old, loves watching sci-fi and horror movies, but he did not like being 16 because every other elder calls him a kid. Fact. He is a stud and a cool programmer. That's the fact too. What if I just don't do it in this fashion, like a text editor? Is it gonna show me anything? No, invalid syntax. It's not gonna recognize any of that because he doesn't know what it is. It's thinking that is and is something of keywords, which it is, and is been used using these unknown, undefined words. That's not the case. This is a sentence, and I want to print out the sentence. So what I'm going to do is just hit that quotes, put the sentence, whatever I want to type inside these quotes, and try to print that. Great, now I have what I want. So that is good, but what if, just what if, there's 100-line story with Siddharth written all over the places, and you want to change that to, let's say, Tony. Let's say Tony. You want to change it to Tony. And you want to change 16 to, let's say, 17. Or let's say 25. Or maybe, yeah, 15. Let's say 15. Or 115. Okay. Okay, that's good. 150. And also the genre. So you can't go manually going into each and every sentence and changing it. What you want to do is define something and store that information into something called a variable. You must have you may have came across that term called variable. So variable is nothing, is just a storage, container to store information. Variable is nothing, just a container to store a variable. So I'm just going to store this information called or a date type of name of a string date type into this name variable. I'm sorry for my mispronunciation. Sorry. So I want to store this data type into this variable, and I can use this variable anywhere I want. Whatever changes I make in here is going to perform the same changes over here. So let's try and run this. See, Tony is 115 years old. Okay, and loves watching sci-fi movies. But he did not like being 115 years old because every other elder calls him a kid. He's a real stud. Okay, cool. That did not make any sense. Let's make it 17. Let's make it 16 actually. 16. 16 is way better. And what if I want to change Tony to, let's say, Richard. Okay, Richard. And sci-fi to, let's say, romantic. Let's see what happens. Richard is 16 years old, loves watching romantic and horror movies. He's a passionate kid, I suppose. But he did not like being 16 because every other elder calls him a kid. He's a real stud though. See? The magic of variables, you can one change and it makes changes to every single places wherever you want. And the main thing, the important thing, before assigning any variable inside of the string function, you gotta do it this way. You gotta say that I'm trying to define a variable inside of a string function. And how am I supposed to do that? Try type of f instead of the string. Starting off these code, just type f, and it will tell Python, yo man, it's a variable in there. You gotta type, you gotta print out whatever it says in over here. So let's just try out without using these. See, it doesn't make any changes. Curly braces name is age, blah 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 blah, and genre. I don't want that. This is the one way. This is way number one. There's another way to do this, and that's way number two. And that is to not writing it as f or any of that there, instead of doing it in a concatenation form. So you just add a plus and add a code in front of it. And see, if you want to do something inside of a string function, you just can't do this. You gotta do that plus and this thing out of here. Do that again. It's very time consuming. It's not that efficient. But that's what I'm trying to say. If I do that, it's gonna show me the results. No, it's not. Invalid syntax. Okay. So you can't have two of these things in one print function. Oh, I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. You can't do that in one print function. Either you have to do just one, like one. Let's try that. Still, it's showing me that. Why is that? Let me just check. Okay, no problem. Okay. Anyway, now it's gonna, yeah. So you can just add one variable. You can concatenate only one variable at a time. You cannot concatenate two strings or two variables in one print function. You cannot do that. For doing that, here's the thing. Here's the magic. This is a way of doing it, but it's not that efficient. 95% of the time you're going to use this method. Instantiating variable inside of the string function, inside of a string, by declaring it as a reference variable that's starting it with f. So that was it about string. We played with strings. Now let's check what are the conclusions we have learned from this video. Like, what are the lessons we have learned from this video? So that's going to be our conclusion. Okay, so let's print it out. Variable is a container to store information. Whatever comes, that's the first point, by the way. Second point, whatever comes under the double quotes. So you will notice one thing. Once you do this, declare these double quotes, cannot do it again inside these double quotes. You cannot. So assume that I have done this. So whatever comes under a double quotes or single quotes is recognized as string type. I'm not that sure about this single quote, so let's try doing it with a single quote. Let's see what happens. So I'm just going to do that and that. So let's show, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that the single quote also works as a string declaration form. The third point, string is also a data type. String is a data type because you're storing words inside these brackets. Inside these quotes. Print function is used to show the content written inside of it. My bad. Why am I doing it? Inside of it. Inside of it. That's 4 point. Variable can store any kind of data types. For example, number, words, boolean, etc. So this is a very good point, and I'm going to show this. Actually, I've shown you already. See, this age variable contains this number. Name variable contains this information called say it, data type called string. Yeah, exactly. And boolean value. So we're gonna move ahead on the variables in next video. In this video we just learned about what are strings, how do you write them, what are print functions, and how do you instantiate variables into a string function. We just play with strings. In next video we'll bang it up with variables, doing some algorithms, making your basics stronger in Python. Okay, that was all about today's video. If you like this video, smash that like button or slap that like button and slap the subscribe button too, because many of you just don't subscribe, man. I need, I'm your pal. Subscribe it. And also, stay safe. It's Corona out there. Stay safe. Keep yourself safe. And yeah, I'll meet you in next video. I'll meet you in next video. Till time, Siddharth Chaudhary is signing out. Good night.